Now, a gruesome court case continues in the city of Avignon in the south of France involving a man accused of orchestrating multiple rapes of his wife by strangers over the course of years. Dominique P. has admitted to the charges, including drugging his wife. He was exposed by chance after being caught filming up women's skirts at a local supermarket. Today, his wife, known as Gisèle P., is taking the stand, and she has insisted that the trial take place in public so the truth comes out. For more on this story, we can bring in Solange Mougin. Solange, it's rare for a trial like this to be held in open court, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it's really a testament to the courage of the victim, Gisèle Pelicot, and she and her lawyers specifically requested and fought for the trial to be open, for her name to be used, for journalists in the world to bear witness to what happened to her and her family. Now, in court, on the stand today, she said she's doing this, quote, in the name of all the women who won't be recognized or perhaps won't be recognized as victims with an open trial. Her lawyers, well, they say that she wants to, quote, the shame to shift sides, and it is indeed quite rare to stand up publicly with such stoicism in the face of such horrors that happened to her and her family. In this regard, she said today in the over 1.5 hours of testimony, quote, "My facade may seem strong, but inside I am a field of ruins."
Solange, what exactly is this trial about?
Well, it's simply one horror after another. Gisèle Pelicot's husband, Dominique Pelicot, is accused of drugging her with sleeping pills between 2011 and 2020. In addition to repeatedly raping her, while she was unconscious, he recruited strangers online to rape her as well. He admitted his guilt over the charges against him, and in total, there are some 50 other men on trial for abusing and raping her. Now, 18 are in custody, while 32 others are free while awaiting the verdict. They are men of all walks of life. Many have families, for example. Now, how the abuse came to light is also quite staggering, as you just mentioned. In 2020, Dominique Pelicot was caught and accused by 3 women in a grocery store trying to film up their skirts. He was arrested. And that's when police found on his electronic devices some 300 photographs and a video of an unconscious woman being assaulted by multiple men. Now, in total, police would find 4,000 videos and photos in a folder entitled Abus or Abuse. They also found evidence of how he would invite men to rape his wife on a chat forum called À son insu, or Without Her Knowledge. And indeed, on the stand today, Gisèle Pelicot described how her world simply fell apart on the 2nd of November 2020 when police officers, they showed her images of herself unconscious being raped repeatedly. Quote, "I was warm, but my body was like a dead person's," she said in her testimony. She also said that police saved her life by looking through that computer.
Solange, this trial has, of course, rocked France, but it's also garnered a lot of attention around the world. Has it raised awareness or attention about rape and the use of chemical substances?
Well, I think Gisèle Pelicot's decision to publicly come forward, as well as her daughter's book and work in this regard, well, they've helped push to the forefront of people's minds the risks of chemical submission, of rape in France, but also worldwide. Now, in regard to France, the latest numbers that we have on chemical submission are from 2021. They are thought to be much smaller. These numbers are thought to be much smaller than the actual number of victims. But 3 years ago, there were 721 official reports of chemical submission. Only 82 would be backed up by toxicology reports. Now, what's interesting here, too, is that while most of the drugs used, if you put them all together, they are often medicine, like benzos or Valiums, opioids, sleeping pills. But there has also been a big jump of the use of recreational substances, which you see there, the 44%. Most of the cases happen to women. Men can also be victims of this as well. Advocates say that there are some key red flags to look out for: nausea, vertigo, amnesia, confusion, falling asleep suddenly. They say that if you have doubts, it's best to keep the possibly incriminating food or drink if you can, but also to get your hair tested, as traces remain longer in your hair. Now, beyond the risk of a chemical submission, this court case has also raised questions about whether doctors are trained well enough to spot such abuses. As Gisèle Pelicot spent years wondering about her gynecological problems and her absences. It's also raised questions about whether France's laws can better protect rape victims by adding or not, it's a big debate that's going on in France, the word consent to the legal definition of rape.
It's rare. We hear a lot of horrific stories as journalists. This story makes your jaw drop, and not in a good way. And this woman is so brave, given all she went through for years. Thank you very much for explaining the story in detail to us here, Solange. Thank you.